Hello and welcome to another Trike Bike video. In this one we're talking about the pedal crank. We've had some customers who have reported that the pedal crank has fallen off and they've put it back on and they can't get it to fit properly. The pedal crank is a tapered fitting, so we're looking at the shaft here and you can see that if you look closely there's a very light taper on there, and there's also a matching taper in the aluminium crank. It's important that the surface gets repaired properly because it does get damaged, and you can see some damaged photos here where the crank has been allowed to turn when it is loose and it actually damages the taper fitting inside the crank. What we need to do to fix this is just use a simple file with a small flat side on it. This one is a triangular file which we use here to repair any cranks. To repair them is easy. Put the file in, lay it flat on the surface and just go backwards and forwards a few times till you remove all of the high spots. In this video we're doing all 4 spots on the crank. We're just removing any lumps or bumps that have been introduced by it being used on the trike while it hasn't been tightened properly. Now we need to refit the crank, so we need to line up the pedals so we're opposite the other one, push it on firmly with your hand, and then using, in this case, a socket and a hammer, we position it centrally and give it a couple of good taps to put it into position. Once we've done this, the nut goes on. You'll see the nut has a washer attached on one side and you screw it on nice and tight. This is a 14mm nut and we use a special crank tool to do it, but you can use any 14mm socket set, and you may even be able to find an equivalent in the imperial size. Really important to get it on nice and tight, so put a fair bit of effort into it, nice and firm. That's it, the crank is now back on, it'll never fall off again. Replace the little dust cover and you're off and triking.